So the first video I'm going to be reacting to is a whatever podcast video. It's called Christian Woman Got Triggered When Chase Called Her Out. Let's see.
Not sexual.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Why
You
does
get
it? Why?
paper dollar tips like every other stripper.
Why?
I was just gonna ask you something.
Sure.
You're a bikini barista, right?
Yes.
And a hardcore conservative, kind of, or some like you're on.
I'm not hardcore conservative.
You're leaning right.
Yeah.
So, and you don't like work.
No.
So why do you think? And you're a Christian. So
Yeah.
how are you a Christian and against sex work, but yet you're in a bikini all day serving food and getting tips?
You don't think that Christians? You don't think that Christians can go to the beach in a bikini? You don't think that?
Yeah, but that's still like that's like
How?
a lot of sex workers do like bikini barista.
Yeah, because
You're not
they're probably
practicing-
also
you're not-
selling their pussy on
let
the
them.
side.
Just let them.
You're not like you're not practicing modesty or anything that's in the Bible.
What's
so
your
this,
definition of modesty?
Not being in a bikini.
Not being
Okay.
in a bikini.
So you wouldn't let your wife at the beach in a bikini?
I'm not saying that I wouldn't let my wife go to the beach in a bikini.
You
but
make
I
extra
wouldn't-
tips.
I
Let's
wouldn't,
pull
I
up
wouldn't
her
want,
Instagram.
I wouldn't
Can we
want
pull up
her
Instagram?
working
Can you
just in a
not?
bikini.
Not you don't want the what's wrong with this?
You make extra tips for being in the bikini, and
I'm just
so
just a show.
That's so weird. Like, how can you be a Christian and argue that literally serving other men in a bikini is okay? I don't understand that. I understand if you're at the beach and you're literally just swimming and, you know, laying in the sun and your intentions are completely pure and you're just wearing a bikini to try and like get some sun on your skin, because I do believe that's really, really good for you and it's got many benefits. And when you cover your skin in the sun, it doesn't reach as much of the rays, which doesn't give you enough vitamin D. So I understand that, but she literally has a job where she serves, I think, food, they're saying, in a bikini to men. That is crazy. And obviously it's going to evoke some kind of a sexual feeling and some kind of a lust in them, which is, you know, wrong and ungodly. And your body is allowing that to happen, but you're calling yourself a Christian. It's weird.
Shaming sex workers, like you're basically a stripper, so I don't understand why.
Stripper, yeah, because I touch
I don't
people and
think
I
that's
dance
fair.
on people for money.
Do you have a
think that's
problem?
fair.
There's
She's
like,
not-
did
she's
you have?
not-
Yeah, it's not the same as being a stripper. That was too far, but it's still not godly.
A
Not a
man?
stripper.
Did you have a man that like cheated on you with a
No,
stripper?
in fact, I had a really good father that raised me to have morals.
Me too, and he's watching, and he's very proud of me for my accomplishments. I pay his
to some
rent,
degree. Here.
so thank you very much, babe.
In your notes to us, you said
But-
most people don't date. Or did you have something really quick?
It's not quick. You already know.
Hi, Shane.
Can you just give us? Okay, so for you, you said in your pre-show notes to us, most people don't date for marriage anymore. It's extremely hard to find a traditional wife-husband who wants to raise their children under biblical values.
Yeah.
Now, I guess my question for you is, how do you reconcile that statement with the fact that you are a bikini barista and don't appear all that traditional in your social media presence? And that's why I wanted to, if we can, pull up the Instagram, just...
Well, it depends on what you mean by
ahead, Nick.
traditional. Traditional to me means submitting to your husband. Traditional to me means being a good Christian. It means being a
How
good
can you
wife.
find
But
one
what
if
about
you're-
modesty?
What do you mean? I am modest.
In the modesty in
Currently,
appearance.
but
Nick,
like while you're at
My
the
my actions, I am a very, very modest person.
My friend told me about
Sex work is not modest.
I'm not in sex work.
She's not a sex worker, but
Technically.
look,
I'm
to
definitely. I would never
she
touch
makes-
someone
Please
for money.
don't
I would never
straw
do
man.
anything gross like that for money. I'm good.
what was your name again?
Savannah.
Savannah. To Brian's point, look, you're a beautiful woman. You're intelligent.
Thank
I think
you.
you're well spoken.
Thank you.
You're welcome. To Brian's point, I haven't seen your social media. It sounds like is there an abundance of bikini pics?
Yes.
Here, we'll pull it up just for...
Okay.
I'm proud of my body. Like,
Scroll
there's
down there.
nothing. The thing is that everybody associates nudity to sexuality, and to me,
Lord have
it's
mercy.
not the same.
We must stay focused.
No, yeah, nudity is not linked. Well, it is linked, but it's not, you know, always a sexual thing. There are ways that you can be nude and pure, but when you're posting it online, it is definitely going to evoke sexual reactions in men. And of course that's sexual. I mean, look, she's literally wearing corsets, fishnets. That is obviously sexual. How can you, that's not nudity. That is like, you know, wearing barely anything, but wearing underwear, which clearly evokes sexual reactions in most men. And you're trying to justify it and say that it's not, and it doesn't do that. But obviously it does. Anybody who sees this can just understand that that's what it's going to do and that's the effect it's going to have. But she is obviously in such denial that she is actually trying to defend it. I can't believe it. I'm actually flabbergasted at that. That's crazy.
Brothers, and if you're lusting over me, that is your sin.
This I completely disagree with. Hold on one second. Okay, so Brian, what was her statement about finding it difficult to find?
Most people don't date for marriage anymore. It's extremely hard to find a traditional wife husband who wants to raise their children under biblical values.
Okay, so.
Oh my goodness.
So how do you reconcile that?
I'm saying this with all due respect. I genuinely respect you.
Thank you.
As a traditional Christian man who wants a traditional Christian wife, to be quite frank, if I saw your Instagram page, immediately I would write you off as a non-traditional, non-Christian woman. I would assume that you weren't Christian. When I see a woman's Instagram page and I see bikini pictures all over the place, showing off the booty, all that kind of stuff, I'm like, yo, this is the exact opposite of modesty. And I'm not interested in that. And I would argue that you are probably making it much more difficult on yourself to find the kind of man that your heart longs for by living this kind of lifestyle where you're posting these images of yourself. Because I know a lot of traditional Christian dudes, a lot of them, across the board, they want modesty in women, and they would not classify that Instagram page as modest.
Sure, that's fine. I'm not really looking for a husband, though. I was just stating that it is hard, to be fair.
Part of the reason why it's hard is because I think you're making it harder on yourself with the job that you work and also with your Instagram presence.
Okay, sure, that's valid.
And isn't it using sexualization?
But also, why would you use, like, she was asked to make a statement. Why would she make a statement which is, it's so hard to find a husband who wants to raise children with biblical values if you don't want to find a husband? She obviously did, but she's just pretending that she doesn't because she's realized that she's made a big mistake and she can't go back on it now. So she's trying to like defend herself by pretending that wasn't her intention when clearly it was.
You get money?
No, I'm not doing anything sexual at all.
You literally are in a bikini with your ass out getting tips. I know how it works.
She wants to smoke.
Well, I just
are you not
get tips just like
can you not be a bikini, be in a bikini and be a Christian? What the fuck?
Azure, it's Azure, right?
But I give you credit.
Not modesty. You want the
well,
smoke
it depends
from
on your
everybody.
definition of modesty.
Okay, so my definition.
In Europe, it's considered modest, right? Like you go out onto a beach, you're naked.
Savannah.
Sounds like it's
Savannah. Hold on.
That's not when you're getting tipped.
Hold on. Savannah, you're saying.
I'm getting tipped to make coffee.
Ladies, please.
With your ass out.
Please
so
stop.
Don't shame workers. That's all.
She wants
not
smoke.
sex work. Holy shit.
It's very.
I'm not touching anyone for money. You're lusting after me. I'm not doing shit.
Sex work is so much more than just touching people. Like, it isn't, you don't need to touch people in order to say you're a sex worker. There are many sex workers who don't touch people. Obviously, if you are half naked in front of men, serving them drinks, alcohol, they're obviously going to feel some kind of way when they look at your body. It's just a natural reaction. And it is a sexual feeling that they're going to feel. So for you to sit there and defend yourself by saying that you're not a sex worker when obviously you are, because you are actually, evoking a sexual reaction in men, which is the whole point of sex work. And that's how people who do sex work get their money, by evoking sexual reactions from people and making them want to pay them extra or pay them money, which she gets tips for it, obviously. It's crazy. This is deluded. I'm watching pure delusion right now.
You, Savannah, are eliciting lust from men by dressing this way.
Well, that's the same thing.
That's like putting your breasts in a man's face and being like, "Why are you looking at them?"
No, it's not.
Yes,
I would never do that.
You literally do it for a living. You flaunt your body.
Hang on, let me ask this. What's the distinction when you say they're lusting after me? Couldn't the stripper make the same argument?
Yeah, except for a stripper's touching and doing sexual.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
but
so-
hang on.
It seems like you're
There's a
just like
big
trying to
Let's say
difference.
the stripper
No,
never
there's
touched
a fine
him.
line between
Let's say the
using
stripper
your-
never touched him, ever, never touched any of the Johns. Just showed up and shook her ass. That's all she did.
Sure, I don't do that.
Yeah, but let's say that's all she did, okay? She's not touching anybody now.
Sure.
She's using her sexualization to make money, wouldn't, just like you are, right?
No.
What's the distinction then?
The difference is that you're dancing and you're shaking your ass and you're doing that to elicit a feeling to get money, right?
And what is the
right?
bikini for?
So the bikini, no.
It seems like you're trying to
Wait,
like
hold on.
justify the reason
One
why.
sec.
I am a Christian, but I think women should be head of household. I am all for women with stake in the game, but the sword penetrates the chalice, not the other way around. We see reality.
Real. Real.
Yo, thank you, Bone Man. Appreciate it.
What does that mean?
Look, this whole idea that like it's on men to control their lust. Yes, okay, I agree. Men have the responsibility to control their lust, but women also have a responsibility to not elicit that lust from men.
By what
And
I'm wearing.
By you
to
choosing.
be specific.
Yes.
By
Savannah,
what I am wearing.
Savannah, come on. If there's two women and one is
So am I
worn-
eliciting that when I
Please
go
let
to
me
the beach
speak.
with my
Please
bikini?
let me
Okay,
speak.
I apologize.
If there's two, thank you. If there's two women and one of them is wearing a modest dress and the other woman is wearing a bikini that shows off her breasts and her butt, obviously men are going to lust. They're more likely to lust after the woman that's in a bikini with all of her curves showing. She is making a choice to wear something that shows off her body. She is going to elicit lust. Do you concede that?
I agree, but that is also not my responsibility
Okay,
to be responsible
let me
for
ask
your
you
lustful
this.
That's
ways.
fine. It's you can say it's not your responsibility, but just don't call yourself traditional or modest.
Well, let me
I
ask
am.
this a different
You're
way.
not.
That's fine.
Inside
By
of your-
definition.
we can
Inside of your
agree to disagree
capacity as a bikini barista, can you name a single virtue of being a bikini barista? What is a single virtue? What about it is in any way virtuous?
I'm not going to answer that. Like, I don't know what you're trying to get out of that question.
Okay, so if a guy,
It's not a
if
job
guy-
that I enjoy doing.
Yeah,
It's
if
not
a
like
guy
it's my
is in-
dream job. I
Do you,
have 2
do you
college
aspire?
degrees.
Do you
I'm
aspire to
working
be
on
the?
it.
Do you aspire to be the Proverbs 31 wife?
I don't know.
Well, you agree that
I may not get
Christianity,
married.
just
I
to
don't
follow
know.
up on this, you agree that Christians need to be virtuous, right?
Sure, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What are the virtues of being a bikini barista?
I never said that there was virtues
Yeah,
of being a bikini
but when
barista.
you're asked specifically to say, hey, listen, it's not my problem that these guys over here they all want to put their hands all over me. They can't, but they want to, and that's why I make extra money.
I mean, that
but that
happens when
stripper
I
over
have
there,
clothes on,
they're doing
too.
something wrong. That's insane.
No, that's fine. But even
That's
when
a
I have clothes
hypocrisy,
on,
and
men
there's
are
no
the same
virtue.
thing.
There's
That's
no
fine.
virtue.
Yeah.
We can agree to disagree on that. But
It might happen when you have clothes on. I get that because, sometimes I get experiences where I'm walking down the street completely fully clothed, even wearing like a trench coat which goes down to my ankles, and there's still men who like come after me and they're like, oh, can I have your number, whatever. I get that, it can happen. But if I was walking down the street half naked, I would get a lot more male attention than if I was completely covered up. So her point is so crazy. That's not a way to justify literally walking around in a bikini and serving men cocktails. You can't compare the two. Like if you're fully clothed, you get a lot less attention, and there's a reason that you're doing it, because you do get more money in tips when you are half naked. Same as OnlyFans models, let's be honest.
men want to do the same
There's
thing
no
when I
doubt-
have clothes on too. I could be wearing a potato sack and men would still want to do that.
Sure, yeah, absolutely, because men have sex drives. But if you're wearing a bikini, it is
But that
going
is
it is
your
going to
responsibility.
stimulate a man's sex drive.
Then that's
Anything
Just
could
like
stimulate
Savannah,
a man's sex
Savannah,
drive.
Savannah,
Should I wear a hijab
Savannah.
then?
No, you don't have to wear
Like-
a hijab.
I prefer a burqa,
You
to
don't-
be honest.
You don't
Burqa,
have to,
okay.
but Savannah, just like it's a man's job, it's a man's responsibility to control his lust. It's also a woman's responsibility, if she calls herself a traditional modest Christian, to not inspire lust.
$200. Abortion is a necessary evil, should be strictly regulated. God-given rights made up. Andrew W. Brixton, PLS. Stop showing these girls half-naked pics. I don't have Insta for reason. Only 304s.
Okay,
Chase
all right.
W.
Thank you.
Question: if you start dating a guy, your boyfriend or your husband, if he requested you take down those photos, would you oblige him?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Do you think it might improve if you were interested in dating, do you think it might improve your dating prospects in the traditional Christian male pool to remove those photos?
Yeah, it probably would. But the thing is that I'm not dating right now. I'm not interested in dating right now.
Oh, okay.
What
I'm just living
What
my
I'm
life
curious
and having
about
fun.
still, if you just don't mind one last follow-up.
And then I'm going to bring
My-
Selena finally in.
My big curiosity here still is I'm caught up on this idea that you have no responsibility. I
It's
have
crazy.
no responsibility. It's their responsibility for the
Muslims
because
would say
hang on,
like
hang on.
Let him finish his
finish.
point. No interrupting.
National
Wait,
donated $200. Azir's only W all night. She's right. You are basically a stripper, just like in states that don't allow female strippers to strip nude.
Yeah.
No difference. You just want to feel different from the girls.
Whatever you say.
Yeah, well, in this case, this super chatter hits the nail on the head. And what the super chatter is saying is the same thing I'm going to tell you or ask you, which is why couldn't anybody engage in sex work?
Grid One Motorsports donated $200.
Yo, thank you, Grid One. Appreciate it,
Brian,
man.
I leave you alone for a few minutes and why?
No time for healthy weekday meals? I cannot wait to try this.
Wow. To Savannah,
wild.
would you make the same tips if you were in a modest dress?
Right. Well, this gets to the heart of it real quick. So, all of the women who are involved in any kind of sex work, you realize can use the same exact argument you just did, which is to say the responsibility is 100% on the John. If he wasn't coming to have sex with us, then I wouldn't even be a prostitute, would I?
No,
if the
'cause you're
John wasn't coming in to watch me strip,
You're
I wouldn't even be able to
consenting
strip,
that
would I?
action. You're doing a
shifting-
sexual
hang on, let me-
action.
just
So
let
are
me
you.
finish the
No,
point.
I'm not.
Yes,
What am I
you
doing
are.
that's
You're
sexual?
making coffee in a bikini.
That's not
inherently
sexual.
sexual.
And
you
Yes,
get
it
tips.
is.
No, it's
You
not.
get-
Why
you
does
get
it- why-
paper
I'm not
dollar
dancing
tips
on
like
someone. I'm
every
not
other
touching
stripper.
somebody. I'm not doing anything.
Why would a woman walk into her bedroom on her wedding night in lingerie for her husband? Because
Lingerie
that
and bikinis are
lingerie
very
is inherently
different.
sexual. They're very different in the sense that there's lace on it and it's different
No,
materials, but
no.
you're showing off
I'm
the curves
covered.
of your body
No,
to
yeah.
stimulate your
So-
man's
so you
sex
want-
drive.
Might as well just go to the beach and
So you
lingerie
want
that
them
night.
to believe?
The
You
men who are
honestly-
buying coffee
hang on,
are
hang
tipping
on, I
you
just
in
want-
dollars
this
like
last thing, because this will make your point too.
Or not.
They're coming
You-
to
That's
get
like-
coffee
you honest-
because you're in a bikini.
Yeah, you
they could go to a
honest-
better coffee shop.
Then that's their issue.
Well,
but
could
I'm
you
making
honestly
coffee.
say that
But
Like,
you
you're-
know
that's my-
exactly why you
Yeah.
work that job to make more money
It's
in
the
tips.
same reason
Yeah,
you're
you can make
posting
more money.
bikini photos on your Instagram to solicit.
Guys, think about it. Okay, so she's making coffee. So she takes the order at the till, and then the guy orders. She turns around to make it at the coffee machine, like her whole bum will be showing and in his face. How is that not sexual? And how can she still be defending the fact that she does that as a job and she earns money from that? How can she defend that? You're literally, I would be ashamed if I was wearing a bikini and had to turn around and show a guy my bum whilst I make his coffee with the coffee machine. I would feel so ashamed. I'd feel like I've just failed at life, and I'd feel like I've sinned, and I'd feel like I have let myself down, let my parents down. And she calls herself a Christian woman, yet she's doing this. She literally said she's traditional. And yeah, that couldn't be further from the truth. Looking on her Instagram and seeing her naked photos pretty much, and hearing what she does for a living.
Yeah,
It's
can you
sexual
honestly
attention.
say that your employer was like, I want you to wear a bikini because it's really hot in here?
I don't give a shit what my employer
Is that
thinks.
what your employer was like? I want you to wear a
I
bikini
don't
because
give a
it
shit.
gets up to like 90 and I'd really just, I want you to be cool while you're working. Why do you think your employer wants you to wear a bikini while you're
That's
serving
their
coffee?
responsibility. If they come through because
Yeah,
they
but
want
why do you
coffee
think
or
he
they
does?
want to look at my
Girl,
ass,
but
Yeah, but
that's
why do you
their
think he
Starbucks.
does?
responsibility.
If you want a husband one day and you're a Christian, work at Starbucks.
Nah, I'm good. They support abortion.
Okay.
Wait.
Well, find another hometown coffee
And you
shop.
support sex work, so.
No, I don't. That's literally not sex work.
Yeah, it's literally sex work.
literally not sex work.
It's literally
It's
sex
it's
work.
still
not
soliciting your
It's
body
not
just like a
debatable.
sex
It's not
worker.
sex work.
And you
It's
get,
not. I'm not doing anything sexual whatsoever.
and then they hand you
Except the
cash
sex
tips
work.
after the, you.
It's literally not sex work.
Denial.
It's not
inherent
sexual.
sexual.
And you
Yes,
get
it
tipped.
is.
No, it's
Yeah, okay. What do you guys think? Someone said, you can be proud of your body, but why show your body to men? Exactly. I feel the exact same way. What? How did the two correlate? Like, I am proud of my body. I still choose to cover my body up because I don't want men looking at my body. I would like it to be reserved for one person and one person only. So that's why I choose to do that, because I'm a Christian woman and because I don't want random men looking at me. It's just mental. It's actually mental. Yeah, Shay Nolan said, not modest photos. Exactly. Thank you. Look at her Instagram. They are not modest photos. Anyone can see it. Anyone who's got a brain, anyone who's got eyes can see that they are not modest photos. Yet she's still talking absolute rubbish saying that they are. Not her responsibility. Exactly. Like, she was literally saying that it's not her responsibility if men look at her body and lust over her. Yes, it is, because you're half naked showing your body to men. Of course it's your responsibility. Only thing I dislike about whatever is Brian not allowing conversations sometimes, and always the interruptions. Yeah, because of the super chats, there's always interruptions coming in, and yeah, it's a bit annoying sometimes. I'm not going to lie. It all comes down to this. Be modest is highly more attractive, actually. Yeah, it's very true. And I did notice that this is really, really weird, but I was beginning to get more male attention the more modest I was dressing. And I think it's because nowadays most women walk around half naked, and men are just used to that now. So they're kind of getting bored of it, and they're like, what is going on? But when they see a woman who's covered up and modest and, you know, confident in the fact that she doesn't need to show her body to everyone, they are like, oh my gosh, this is refreshing. I've not seen this for a while. And then they, go and show their interest, which is crazy, because you'd think it would be the other way around, but it's kind of making a turn now, so that's kind of cool. Okay, next video. Blind dating 6 girls based on glow-ups. Let's just have a look at this 1 second. Bear with me, guys. How has your week been? Let me know. And yeah. Do you think that traditional modest women, self-proclaimed traditional modest women, should be having a job which is serving men coffees completely, pretty much naked? What do you guys think? Is it rocket science, or is there an obvious answer?